length of time in which one can simply wipe. Stated about wiping over the socks. The Messenger of Allah set the limit of 3 days and nights for the traveller, and 1 day, one night and night for the resident non-travelling person. What is to be wiped, and the manner of wiping? The portion to be wiped is the top of the socks. Said, if the religion were built upon personal opinion, it would be considered more correct to wipe the bottom of the socks instead of the top of the socks. But I saw the Messenger of Allah wipe over the top of the socks. What is obligatory concerning the manner of wiping is anything that meets the definition of the word wiping. Wiping over non-leather socks, such as woolen socks and sandals or shoes, in the same way that it is permissible to wipe over leather socks, it is also permissible to wipe over woolen socks or shoes. The Prophet made ablution and wiped over the leather socks and sandals. It was said to Ibn who we have seen you do something that we have not seen anyone other than you do. He asked, what is that? They said, we have seen you wear these tained sandals. He replied, I saw the Messenger of Allah wear them and make ablution with them on and wipe over them. What invalidates the wiping? The wiping is invalidated by one of three things. The time period has come to an end. This is because it is known that there is a time limit, and it is not permissible to exceed the determined amount. Sexual defilement. The point is based on the hadith from Safwan, who said, the Messenger of Allah ordered us to, while we were travelling, not to remove our leather socks for 3 days and nights, except in the case of sexual defilement, but from defecation, urination and sleep, we did not have to remove them, removing what has been wiped over from the feet. If one removes what has been wiped over and then negates the ablution and wears them again, one would not have put them on while the feet were still in a state of purity. Note: the ending of the time period and removing what has been wiped over only negate the act of wiping. It is no longer permissible to wipe until one makes ablution, washes the feet, and then wears the article again. However, if the person remained in a state of purity when he removed the article of clothing, or when the period came to an end, he remains in his state of purity and can continue to pray as long as he wills until he does something to invalidate his ablution. A second note: if someone wears 2 sets of socks and wipes over both of them and then removes the upper pair after wiping over them, it is permissible for him to continue during the set time period to wipe over his lower socks, because he had entered into them while his feet were in a state of purity. However, if he is wearing just one pair and wipes over them and then puts on another pair, he cannot wipe over them, as he did not meet the condition of wearing them while in a state of purity. The complete bathing ghusl. What makes the ghusl obligatory? The ejaculation of semen, regardless of whether one is awake or asleep. The Prophet said, the liquid that is the ghusl is due to the liquid that is the semen. O Messenger of Allah, Allah does not shy away from the truth. Does the woman have to make ghusl if she has a wet dream? He replied, yes, if she sees the liquid. Yes, if she sees the liquid. When one is awake, as opposed to when one is sleeping, the emerging of the semen has to be due to lust for it to require ghusl. due to lust for it to require ghusl. The Prophet said, if the liquid is ejaculated, one must make ghusl due to sexual defilement. If it was not ejaculated, there is no ghusl. The word used in the hadith means to shoot, and this will only occur if there is lust involved. Thus, the author of the book was commenting upon has said, if the semen is emitted not out of lust, such as due to illness or a malady causing dripping of urine, then it is not obligatory to make ghusl. If someone experiences a wet dream but sees no fluid, then ghusl is not obligatory. However, if one finds the fluids but does not recall the wet dream, it is obligatory to make ghusl. Aisha said, the Messenger of Allah was asked about a man who found wetness but did not recall experiencing a wet dream. The Prophet stated he must make ghusl. Then he was asked about a man who experienced such a dream but found no fluids, and he said ghusl is not obligatory upon him. Sexual intercourse, even if one does not ejaculate, reported that the Prophet said, if one places himself between her four parts, that is, thighs of his wife, and has intercourse with her, then ghusl is obligatory whether or not he ejaculated. A non-Muslim embracing Islam, that when he embraced Islam, the Prophet ordered him to make ghusl with water and lotus leaves.